Everybody, this is Claudette Ortiz.
You know, man, it's your boy Tragic, man.
Whoa, what it do? This is Mr. Young Thug, the original hot boy, Young Turk.
Hey, what's up? This is Guy Black from Foxhole Radio with Jamie Foxx.
Everybody, this your girl, Gloss the Boss. Big shouts out to TWTT.
Yo, what's going on? This is your boy Ken L, a.k.a. Kenny Kimmett, representing that new show on Bounce TV, In the Cut. We're talking with Taj. What it do?
All right, now, Ken L, what's going on, man? Everybody knows, you know, for those who grew up in that era, they know the Parkers, they know In the House, Malibu's Most Wanted. But you have a new show coming on. Well, it's already there, called In the Cut on Bounce TV, man. Tell us about In the Cut.
In the Cut is about a character named Jason or Jay Weaver, who owns a barbershop and has a 31-year-old illegitimate son that walks in and wants to get to know his father. In
this show, with that type of storyline, does it hit home at all, or does it, you know, how were you able to prepare for this particular role?
Well, you know, basically, you know, I have a lot of friends and you know, associates that have issues with their fathers, man. You know, very close, you know, personal friend of mine, you know, lets me know about what's going on with his life. And when this role came up and I started seeing the different layers of this character, it just, you know, it kind of like hit home. And plus, you know, I have a brother that I met when I was 17 years old. So, you know, with that distance between, you know, my father and him, you know, that was something. So a lot of those little personal things in my life are able to be, you know, influenced with this character.
How's the feedback been so far? What's the response from the fans?
Man, it's been great. I mean, you know, we premiered on Bounce TV on August 25th, and we actually broke the record for the network for being the highest rated show on the network for age 18 to 49. It's incredible, man. Incredible response.
Oh, congratulations, man. You know, for you is, how's the industry changed from Meet the Parkers and now? Oh,
well, you know, there's a lot of in between. I mean, you gotta understand, like, there was a time when reality TV didn't exist, and once reality TV kicked in, you know, a lot of the written sitcoms and stuff kind of took a back burner to gain way for reality television. And once reality television came in, it was just, you know, you have a plethora of all of these shows coming on. You know, Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know, Orange County, you got Love and the Hip Hop. You know, you got the Mob Wives. I mean, you just got a flood of reality television. So in that terms, you know, as far as my aspect of it, you know, it's changed a little bit as far as the content that is being provided to some of these networks and studios. It's changed dramatically, but it's a beautiful thing to have a sitcom that's out there and is able to identify with, you know, the African American audience.
Definitely. One of my favorite sitcoms that I used to watch back in the day was Martin. You know what I mean? You had Martin, you had Living Single, you had, you know, Meet the Parkers, you know, Family Matters. You know, we had a lot of successful black sitcoms. Now, do you feel like reality TV has hurt the sitcom industry, that part of that industry, or do you feel like it was just a time period that a change needed to happen for a little bit?
I mean, I feel reality TV, I mean, it has its place, you know. It definitely has its place. I mean, just the first word of reality, you know, it's just the fact that, you know, you can look at life through someone else's perspective. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. But as far as when you see reality TV or some of the shows that are out there, they got a lot of ratchet stuff that occurs out on television, man. And you know, when you're looking at, you know, any type of visual, like they say, you know, art is an imitation of life. And then when life starts imitating art, you know, you start to get destructive. With
that being said, man, how hard is it being a black actor in Hollywood these days? You know, back in the day, you know, you had black actors, they were getting $10 to $20 million a movie. You know, there's big contracts for TV and television. But what's the challenge like these days?
I mean, right now it's more of just trying to be in control of your own entity, your own image. I think that's the main thing that is what Hollywood is about, is controlling your own image. And, you know, it kind of sometimes, you know, Hollywood gets in the way of a lot of artists that are, you know, painting those types of pictures. You know, it's a money game. It's a demographic game. When it comes down to being African American or African in America, you got to think of the percentage only like, 12.6% of the United States population. You know, I mean, that's just talking about the United States, not globally, but, you know, so you think about that market and how, you know, slender of a piece of pie that is. And then we have to have, you know, black writers and people being able to create those stories and create those entities that make those things possible. And that's a beautiful thing that's working with, you know, Bentley Evans, man. I mean, the brother is just on point. He has a vision, and I just roll with that cat, man. The dude is really on point, really talented, very talented.
Now, In the Cut, that's on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Central Time, correct?
Yep, on Bounce TV.
On Bounce TV. That's every week. And outside of In the Cut, congratulations on that show again. What else does Ken L got going on right now?
Well, you know, I've never stopped, you know, doing my music. That's my main love. I love doing music and creating tracks. So I have that going on, and I got a film that's coming out called Benjamin Troubles. So that's another beautiful thing that's on the way. It's a nice life, man.
Now, you know, we start talking about being an artist and being an actor. Do you feel like actors and athletes get the respect when they jump into, you know, the music scene? Like if an actor jumps into the music, or an artist jumps into being an actor, do you think that they get their just due, their respect?
I feel that anything that people have, you know, dedicated their lives to, any craft, because regardless of whatever field it is, man, I think that, you know, you get your time to shine, man. As long as you went out there and put that work in to make it happen, you know. I've dedicated my life to the art, you know, and this is what I do. And I just hope that everybody else respects the game and has that same respect for the craft, you know. That's all it is. You got to understand how powerful, you know, this craft is. You know, it influences and changes lives, you know, and it's supposed to change for the better, bring influence and insight. That's what it's all about. You know, when people don't recognize the power that they have when it comes to influence, that's where that damn shame comes in.
Now, man, you know, I read that you are an artist, and we know you've had a history in that. Now, tell us a little bit about what your message is in your music.
Well, I just love expressing myself. Most of the time, I love, you know, uplifting, you know, women. I love expressing myself and having fun. That's what it's all about. I like being a great influence and a great piece of energy towards any type of event. You know, that's what it's all about, man. Sharing those moments, and that I like doing that. I like having my music touch people to the point where it makes them think, you know, and at the same time opens them up to being optimistic about life.
Do you feel that's what's missing in today's hip hop?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not that it's missing. I mean, hip hop is very dynamic. You know, I mean, it was, you know, back in the days, you had the social movement, you had the gangster movement. Right. You know, everything. It's just such a dynamic and universal tool. You know, and that's where I think hip hop is going to change the world, man. It's just the most freest form of expression that we have musically. I feel, you know, it's honest, it's raw, and you know, I remember listening to X-Clan, you know what I'm saying? And
you telling your age, brother. You telling your age.
Know, I mean, but it's like, I got Apple Music, so, you know, it kind of like curates a lot of that music, too. So, but it's like, man, I just like that, man. I just love what music can do, man. I mean, you sit back and listen to some of the music from, like, just 10 years ago that was really popping on the top 10 charts, you'd be like, damn, that just don't hold water no more, you know? It's like, I can't even, it's not worth anything no more. It's like tainted gold. It's like it's not. I thought this was gonna be shiny forever. So
now,
music is like that. Mm-hmm.
With your style, do you think we'll ever get back to the? I probably know that this is an easy answer, but I ask it anyway because I like to get artists' point of view on this thing because I have these kind of conversations all the time. Do you think we'll ever get back to the times where artists were selling 3, 4, 5 million records, and like I told somebody this the other day, I said, the one thing that's missing is we lost the anticipation for a big record.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What's your thoughts, man? Tell me your thoughts on that.
I feel it's progression. I feel it's just that generation of I want it now. Back in the days, you could hold something from somebody, and say, hey, you have to wait.
Right.
And it's not like that no more. I mean, you got people sitting here putting movies out, and before the movie even hits the theater, they got the bootleg cracking. So it's like you look at those things, and it's like, dang, man, where's the true richness of this art anymore, man? It's like you can just sit here and go into your keyboard and put together anything and just put it out. Just making it like it's no substance to it. It's like it's not even a thought out plan. It's like going to war without having a plan. It's like people have to recognize you put something together. You got to have some type of anticipation for it. You got to understand what type of impact it could hold on the people. I mean, shoot, you can be releasing a nuclear bomb and destroying all kinds of minds with this influence that you're bringing out there. And it can also be the exact opposite of somebody putting something out there that is so influential that it changes your life, man, like that Straight Outta Compton movie. I mean, that movie, it changed. People have different perspectives on it, of course. You're going to have certain people in the media trying to, look at the bad things that NWA has done and not try to gain from what has been learned since that era. That's the thing. I mean, you have a whole bunch of tragedies that occur in all kinds of generations, and then sometimes there's artists out there that'll be able to put that moment in a capsule, and then that capsule just sits there. And when you go back and revisit that capsule, you oh man, we've been through this before, we've heard this before, or this is nothing new. Like they always say, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything you see has already been done. And so it's just sometimes it's just a refreshing of what's already out there, man. So like I said, that Straight Outta Compton movie is the type of impact that I'm talking about, where you have a group that has definitely embellished in their lifestyle, but at the same time, the things that they were saying about the police brutality and all those things. When you look at things going on now, it's like, wow, these things happen, over 20 years ago.
Two-part question to that. First, do you think it was perfect timing that this movie came out now with all the things going on concerning the police? And do you feel like NWA changed the music industry forever?
Yeah, I think it's the appropriate time for any type of knowledge to be put out there. I think this generation needed to have something of substance to hit them, and to let them know, hey, this struggle that's going on right now, it ain't like it's nothing new. We went through that, 10, 20 years ago. And then you can go and ask your parents, they went through it, 30, 40 years ago, and they can go back further and further and further. So, when you look at the situation of, having the ability to put it on record and have it recorded, regardless of how, misogynistic or how I can say masculine it may be and how they do their thing, but as far as the art is concerned, but when you look at the picture of what they were able to capture in their life, that is very important. I mean, it's like you can look at the Malcolm X movie and get the message, but Malcolm X went through some things too,
Yeah.
And those are the things that you understand. You got to sit here and be like, hey, you got some very bad folks out there, some bad folks that had some very good intentions with their message, and that's what's important. Did you get the message?
Now, with your music, is there a mixtape coming out, or are you going to drop an album? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I drop singles, man. I really go out there and I put a lot of my music. I have a lot of music, but I just keep it, all to myself, and the stuff I put out is mostly just cool little singles, things like that. And I link up with some of my friends and put music together. That's what I like to do, and that's what I've been doing, even before I was doing my acting thing. I love music, man. I just think it's so powerful. It's just powerful, and people need to respect that power. It's like like I say, Martin Luther King and any of these great, Minister Louis Farrakhan. People, the words are powerful. Your tongue is powerful. And we can have fun with the music and talk about love and life. But at the same time, it's those songs that have substance that last. It lasts for generation after generation. I mean, you can go listen to Sam Cooke, same thing. Can't go come, it's the same thing. Same thing. You got to be able to respect, It's like I look at it like this. You sit back and see that era, the 50s and the 60s, and everybody dressing all nice in suits and things like that. And, brothers and sisters were a lot more patient, wasn't asking for, anything, civil rights and the marching and stuff. And then as we advance to these times, you just see how they ain't asking no more. It's like, yo, we about to tear this spot up. And it's like, yo, it's getting to the point where the music is beginning to fall under that lane, man. And it's like, wow, you gotta be careful. Like they say, sometimes you have that powdered keg when it comes down to culture, man. We really gotta get ourselves together as a people, as humanity, and start to understand what life is all about, man. Because it's a beautiful thing when you live it right.
And when it comes to the music, I hear you speak real passionate about the content and the music and the power of the tongue and the word and the message that you're putting out there. Another thing that's just as important as the message is the performance of that message. Do you perform a lot, and when you do, what is your what's the kind of the steps that you take in the preparation that you go through to make sure that the message is delivered just as well as it is on wax and in front of that crowd?
Well, it's just all about capturing the moment. I mean, you want to give people a moment. The whole point of being an artist is to provoke emotion, and that's what you want to do as an artist, provoke emotion. And then when you look at preparing yourself to be on a stage, when you can create the setting and the mood for what you are performing, that is just going to be impactful. I look back and when I seen Kendrick Lamar performing on one of these award shows. He had the song "We Gonna Be Alright." Had a police car, on the stage, and all these people dressed in type of riot type, just like khakis and t-shirts, just casual gear, and just getting it in. And it's like, man, that was very impactful. And some people will look at that and be like, oh, he's inciting, people to do these things, and it's like, no, he's giving you a picture of what needs to be changed. It's like there's always another way to look at the way the art is being perceived, and sometimes they look at this art. It's just freedom of expression. When you have the freedom to express yourself, and at the same time capture people with your expression. I mean, that right there it's touching. That's what touches people. That's what touches your fans. That's what touches everyone. I was listening to one African artist, and he said something that was very important to me. He's like, he has a song. I can't remember the name of it because it's an African song, but he said that he got requested to do this song in English. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do it in English. He's like, man, why aren't you going to do it in English? I mean, the song is so beautiful, I think the world needs to hear it. He's like, he said, it's like in the morning when you listen to the birds, you don't, worry about what the birds are saying. You just hear beautiful sounds.
Mm. You're right.
They're coming through me right there. So I'm like, you know what, man? It's really interesting how, sounds are beautiful, and you listen to those birds in the morning, and you don't sit here and say, hey, if I can, if they can just tell me what they're saying. It's like, it's not about that. It's just the sound. And I was like, man, that's a beautiful way to look at it, man. Language is beautiful, and we just got to respect it and appreciate it.
Have we misused that gift, that talent, our culture, our genre of music? Because a lot of people, there was a nod to put that out there, hip-hop is dead. True essence of hip-hop is dead. Now you have radio stations playing songs where rappers are singing and singers are rapping. You know what I mean? What has happened? Have we misused this, and have we lost it? And if we have, how can we get it back?
I mean, you get it back by being original. You get it back by being you. I mean, you look at the industry, and you got to understand, anytime you have major corporations getting inside of anything, any field, if it's art form or anything, they're in it to make money. And people want to capitalize on every dollar that they can. And so when you find out what's going on and what's popular, you have a lot of people that emulate that. There was a time when you had a Subway sandwich, and it was just so good. And then someone's like, I'm going to toast this bread. I'm going to call this place Quiznos. It's like, it's like the game gets changed, and all of a sudden you got Subway toasting their bread. It's like, hold up. So you're like, when it comes down to like hip hop, man, you got to remember there was a basis for it, and that's what it was. And once corporate America got in there, I was like, man, should we have some lights and make these people appealing and have them sing a song like this and get with this producer? It's going to be sounding great. And that's what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful thing. It's competition. But at the same time, you still have that substance that misses from a lot of artists. A lot of these younger artists, just coming into the game, they get hit by the lights and the cameras, and they want it, but at the same time they don't understand or respect the craft and respect people that have been doing it for years and have done it for years. And you are what you surround yourself by. We have a lot of artists that I've been influenced by, like different actors I've been influenced by, that helped to shape me. And I have to respect the game I received from my elders and my mentors. 'Cause that's what keeps me solid. I try to stay solid with my craft and try to respect that. And when I go out there and present something, regardless, I present it, I want to make sure that, my mentors and my elders are, respect the work and respect the craft. Exactly. And say, hey, that's what it is. And I don't want to, they say, oh, you're going to send us back 200 years. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I want to be known as that dude. I'm all about progression, man.
Ken L right here on Talk with Taj, man, in the cut on TV tonight, and every Tuesday. Is there every Tuesday, right?
Yeah, man. Well, actually, from the first 6 weeks of we're in week number 2. Just the first season, man. So we're out there to see how it goes, and hopefully they have us back for season 2.
Yeah, in the cut on Bounce TV, Tuesday nights at 9, 8 Central. Make sure you check that out. Now, I got a couple
on the West Coast. 6 o'clock on the West Coast.
Okay. A couple other questions. We spent quite some time on music now. I enjoyed that. So I want to go into another part that's kind of, it's aligned with music in a way, and that's the police situation that's going on in America today with unarmed black males. Just this week alone, there's been 3 officers that I know of that have been killed. We're not sure who's done it, but this is starting to become a problem that's getting out of control. Well, it's already out of control. Is, in your opinion, what can be done to stop the killing of unarmed people? I'm just going to say people in general, because it's more than just blacks being killed. Unarmed people. What can we do to keep police officers safe as well? And then, what can people do, man, just to keep from this even occurring? Because, sometimes, I know I'm getting away from everything, but I'm coming back to it. You get pulled over, some people want to just jump out there at the police and just start talking crazy. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, that is not the best way to handle it. Be polite. You know what I mean? You got to know, you got to choose your battles wisely. So what can we do to protect the citizens? What can we do to protect the police? And what can ultimately be done to stop this whole situation before it gets any worse?
I mean, that's a big one. I just believe, you know, anytime you have an interaction with anybody, man, it's a confrontation, you know. And when you being confronted by the police, you know, the energy that is, you know, being expressed is you know, you got to read it right. You know, I'm sure when you get pulled over, you just got to be able to conduct yourself in a cool manner. You don't want to have no issues, you know. But in the end, man, I think it's just all about accountability. You know, the police officers have to be accountable for how they, you know, do their thing. Because my piece is the professional is a police officer. You know, you're the police officer, you're the professional, and you're trained in all kinds of different ways to handle various situations. And I know it's a scary job, and I respect police officers. They put their life on the line, you know, to bring some sort of peace within these communities, you know, and all of our communities. But at the same time, accountability is a major thing. You have a lot of police officers that are you know, not just human beings that are bad people that become police officers that abuse their authority. And that's the accountability. And I just feel that, you know, when we see a better image of the police officer, or the image of the police officer on a nationwide scale, then you'll start to see a change in the way citizens react. But at the same time, you know, it's a big job. It's a big job to be a police officer, man, and I commend them for what they do, because they, like I said, if there was no police officers, there would be unlawly people walking around here doing a lot of things. And it's like, you know, it's the way it is, man, and you got to have people out there that's willing to put their life on the line to protect others. And I think it's a beautiful thing for that. But at the same time, we got, you know, some bad officers that created a very bad stereotype of police officers. And how I was raised, I grew up and was raised understanding that the term po-po comes from slavery, you know, from the slave patrol. And so that same mentality from that slave patrol and catching runaway slaves and all those things, sometimes that's an old school mentality, and some of these officers have that mentality that's been, you know, bred inside of the institution. You know, they got some really good officers out there, man, and they need to be commended. But when it comes down to a lot of these police officers that are doing dirt, you know, the really good officers that they say exist, those are the ones that should be speaking up and getting those guys out of the way, because it's affecting our nation. And it's very, they say it's getting crazy out here, man, and we need to just calm down and make sure that we're doing the right thing, leading our people right. I mean, the people as far as humanity.
Ken L right here on Top of Ties. Check out In the Cut on Bounce TV Tuesday night, 9/8 Central, and 6 o'clock in California on the West Coast.
Yes, sir.
What would be your three, if you had to give the youth right now 3 keys to success, whether it be in the music industry or whether it just be in acting or entertainment as a whole, what would be your 3 keys to success? And if you had anything you would like to let the fans know, what would that be?
I think the 3 keys to success are knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I think with those 3 things, you're going to be all right. For real.
And is there anything that you would like the fans to know, other than to watch In the Cut on Bounce TV every Tuesday, first season, 9/8 Central, 6 o'clock if you're in California?
Man, that's what my fans know. I have much love and respect for all my fans, man. I really appreciate the acknowledgement and everything, man. Continue supporting me and my endeavors, and watch Bounce TV. You know, check out In the Cut with me, Dorian Wilson, Jackie Harry, and my man, John Marshall Jones.
Everybody, this is Claudette Ortiz.
I know, man, it's your boy Tragic, man.
Whoa, what it do? This Mr. Young Thug and original hot boy, Young Turk.
Hey, what's up? This is Guy Black from Foxhole Radio with Jamie Foxx.
Everybody, this your girl, Gloss the Boss. Big shouts out to TWT.